What's up, YouTube? So, people often wonder what I do for work and how I can afford the hobbies that I like to do because they tend to be kind of expensive. Scuba diving, horseback riding, they're all known as kind of like expensive things to do. So, I am an electrical engineer. I got my Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering with a specialty in power systems analysis. And I do random stuff like this. You can see my wall. I am currently working on an ETAP model, which is a electrical modeling software that allows us to determine certain things like the effects of loads on certain buses and arc flash configurations so that people don't get fried in the plant, which is currently what I'm doing. And I work sometimes some pretty crazy hours. I try to keep it to 40 hours a week. It doesn't always go to plan. Like this weekend, it is a Sunday. I don't know the date, maybe the 14th of November. And I worked all day yesterday. So I worked all day Saturday after a full week. And now I'm gonna work all day today. So currently what I'm doing, people ask me all the time, what do you do as an electrical engineer? And if I say I determine arc flash boundaries, they're like, okay, so what do you do? So part of this current project that I'm doing, which the only thing I can tell you is I'm doing for Tennessee Valley Authority, which is a power generation utility in sort of the southeast US, and it encompasses several states. I'm not going to go into that, but that's about all I can tell you. I can't tell you where it's at, can't tell you what part of the plant it's at. But what I'm doing right now is I was given this project with just a whole bunch of single lines, which all single lines do is tell you where the power is coming from, where it's going to. And that's about it. It might tell you the cable names, but that's just, it's very top level, not really detailed. So also I was given cable and conduit schedules, which tells me what kind of cable is going where and how long it is. So my current problem is that the cable and conduit schedules that they gave me don't have the cables that I need. Which means I'm having to determine all of that information by hand. Part of that is measuring tape and drawings, which I have literally just pinned to the drywall. Okay, so I find all these highlighted bits are pieces of equipment in the plant, in this particular area of the plant. And I am taking measurements from one piece of equipment to another, and then determining the scale of the drawing, which in this case, the drawings did not contain a scale. So I had to look for tiny little bitty measurements on there and kind of like scale that up. And sometimes it's kind of an educated guess. So for instance, here's a panel board right here, okay? You can't see it, but here's a panel board right here, and I need to go to this piece of equipment. So how far away is that piece of equipment from this location? Well, I come in with my seamstress tape measure because it's flexible for the most part. And I measure from that piece of equipment over to the other piece here. I don't even know if you can see this. but I measure that distance, which is 2 inches exactly. So 2 inches, and I determined that this drawing scale is 1/8 of an inch represents 16 inches of length in the plant. So if I have 2 inches, I could just do this in my brain, but it's been a long week, okay? So 2.0 divided by 1/8 equals 16. So there are 16, which I should have known that. I mean, like I said, it's been a long week, okay? There are 16 1/8 inch sections between that piece of equipment and where I'm going. And each of those 1/8 represents 16 inches in the plant. So now I multiply by 16. That gives me a 256 inch cable from here to here. And I would determine the size by determining the breaker size that it's coming off of. So yeah, and then what I do is I take that information, I write it down. Like I have lots of just information written all over the place. Then I put it into the computer in that ETAP software, and I am building this model from scratch for this particular plant in this section of the plant, due to a change in electrical standards, which is, they need it like yesterday, but there's just, you know, you can only go so fast. Anyway, that's kind of what I do in a nutshell, and normally stuff like this, like cable lengths and things like that, are given to me, and it's quite straightforward, but yeah, in this case, not so much. So I was given these drawings, which there's like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's more on this wall. 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 drawings that I kind of had to match the lines up to be able to get the layout of the plant sort of thing. So that's what I do. That's how I afford scuba diving. That's how I afford working with horses and this house, which I'm lucky, very lucky. I was able to secure this place. I rent, but I was able to secure this place for $759, and that includes trash and water. So yeah, you can't find that rental rate anywhere else right now. And it's a 1-bedroom house, and it's pretty big. There's a couple negatives, but yeah. So that's how I afford everything that I do, is I work hard. Like, I've worked the last 7 days, 8 days, because I worked last Sunday as well. So I've worked 8 days straight, full-time, more than full-time this weekend. Like, today I'll probably put in 12 hours, plus uploading this video. So yeah, that's my situation. But while I have you, I have brought in all of my indoor plants because it is getting cold. So I figured I'd give you a little tour of how I have used them as decor. So, and don't mind the house, it's a bit messy because I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to clean. So, we're in my living room, and yes, I am watching Harry Potter because it plays as background music. And I have this giant table as my working space for right now. But I have brought some of my plants in. I have these big, huge beams in my house, which are doubling as a couple of things.
my tack room for my horse stuff. And normally all of my saddles will sit up there, but they're in the process of being cleaned. I have bridles up over there, but the biggest use of house plants, and I don't have this organized very well right now, but these ones are still waiting for me to figure out where they're gonna go. But if we look this way, we have a golden pothos, and it is really long, like, I don't know, maybe 12 feet long in places. And that has been growing, let's see, 2.5 years maybe. And then we have a, what do you call this? Philodendron Brazil. Philodendron Brazil. And you might think that, oh no, it's a lemon lime. It's actually not, it's a Brazil. It's just, there was too much light on this side, and so it produced like lime green. But you can tell it's a Brazil. There we go. And then this is a marble queen that I have interlaced up the hanging. And I did the same thing here. So this is, and these guys, they're kind of used as decor, but not really. They're just kind of there. So yeah, that's a wreath I made a couple years ago. But that was a beast to get up there, because it's not, it's like, that's a long way, okay? We're not gonna talk about how I had to get up there, because I might be fired for it. I am an engineer and we're supposed to follow OSHA standards, and I'm pretty sure it was not OSHA standard certified. Anyway, this is how I'm using my plants right now. And yeah, so set you down. That's all. And now, hopefully everyone has some sort of an idea, a little bit, about what I do. Bye.